will comes at a very hefty price. Or as they say, heavy as the crown.
It's always in there. I don't know why I was telling you guys about that. How was I telling you about that? I don't know. Me and my posse. The pulse. It's something. Some place or something has been transmitting. It's a signal. Just right now, my anxiety is gripping me. You can't let them get you, cousin. You can't let them get you. How can you work for an agency for almost 5 years and not know that you have a union? Isn't union representation supposed to be made visible and available to the people that it's afforded to? I'm practicing listening to my intuition, and when spirit communicates something to me, if my spidey sense is engaged and I think to make a move in a different direction, I do that. What's up? I just wanted to reiterate that a bully is a defeated coward. They have succumbed most of the times to the very treatment that resulted in them becoming bullies. I wonder why it's so hard for some people to communicate love. Why can't you say, I adore you, I love you, I'm in love with you, I miss you, I cherish you, I admire you. It's not just love. Some people struggle with communicating their feelings, period. They're just, it wasn't enticing. I cannot explain how I know, just that I do. The people who this applies to know who they are, and they know what I'm talking about. It makes me feel like I was used by the divine, that I was put in places. And the pressure is making my head. So someone pointed out to me, if you're going to go off grid, then you don't talk about it. Okay, I'm done. See, it's raining right now. And the anxiety is not bad at all right now. It's manageable. I'm fine with it right now. How can you not question the motive once you've learned that it's a business? It's a business. Someone I used to know used to casually question me about why there's such a high percentage of unmarried black women. Like there was something wrong with me and I had a contribution to that. I don't know. I was sitting in the bed, kind of. Not anymore. Same person used to have me in my head about Lot's wife because he would always compare me and say, don't be like Lot's wife. And I'm like, why did they turn her into salt? Which back then was used as a currency. Trade it. Maybe. There are so many reasons that this is just not right. It's not right. You know what this is, period. You know exactly what this is. Don't play. All right, baby. All right. But in short, I said what I said. When you casually suggest a damn car wash, and now you're part of the cleaning crew. And don't get me wrong, because it can be fun. It actually is fun cleaning the car. Just not like after you've gotten off of work after standing for 9 hours or 8.5 hours. It's no. Even though I can sit down and wipe the inside of the car, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not complaining. This isn't a complaint. I'm done. I just been feeling myself. I'm masturbating. Make the blade come out like the nails. I saw that a few weeks ago. Oh, yeah, like How to not be evil, just be good. I still feel like that's way too much light. Okay, so hi, it's Tanika. So I've been catching myself being super awkward lately. I think that I think it's maybe time to break the solitude a little bit. So because I say that because my daughter took me out, like we had a date this past week. Was it the weekend? No, because it's the weekend right now. So it was right before the weekend, sometime last week. And like you're being awkward when you catch yourself like, maybe I should just. Would anybody even notice if I leave? Like I'm just like that. But I mean, because it was her, I'm cool. I can. That's my baby. So we spend our time and we do the stuff that we do. But I don't know, to be out and to have drinks and to be on the social scene and all the energy and all the beautiful people. Like I'm not coming from a place of fear or insecurities. I'm very sensitive to people's energies and I feel what they're feeling. And that comes and goes. I think it's there when it's supposed to be, which means that maybe I ought to refocus my attention on the things I'm processing stuff with you. That's why I call it a conscious rant. A conscious rant, I say things when I feel them a lot. And there was a time, I used to fill up journals and diaries, writing my thoughts, writing my experiences, writing my perspectives. And then I would go back and read them and sop them up and then digest them again and then regurgitate them and do it all over again. But now, this is self-ministry. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I can actually see myself in the camera and I'd be like, I could tell. Anyway, I always talk about this part. I can tell that you're feeling that you got really passionate about this part. So it's time for me to be a little more social. And I guess I'm just going to have to make the time to do it. Sometimes I just feel so lazy. Like, in my opinion, it's like I think I have my priorities right because I'm recovering still. I've suffered like several major blows. Like, I'm picking myself back up and I feel like I will know when I have the green light to start being social again and to start, kicking it and again, just being social. Right now I'm very isolated. I'm very focused. Okay, so I just want to go back to briefly about when I said I used to fill up the journals and the diaries. I was thinking about this whenever I was at work earlier. Whenever I said I used to fill up the journals and the diaries and just books, the composition books with my thoughts and feelings and experiences and stuff. And I'm at every single one of them, someone broke into them. People get so curious about what you're writing about. And I'm like, well, you really could just have a conversation with me. And I don't mind telling you, what my thoughts were. Maybe we can buff each other. You know what I mean? Like we can relate. I tell you a little bit of mine, give me your perspective, and then maybe you trust me enough to share with me, and then we see if we can actually relate or whatever. Like I've definitely done that. And this guy walking. No, but we had I really, really, really try. Anyway, someone just walked up and I am talking to myself into the phone, okay? No doubt, but I really wish that I didn't have the audience, you know what I mean? But I should just go in the house. Anyway, people read my diaries, which inadvertently, it kind of diminished my value and not my value, but my passion for writing. I had to stop that for a while because I'm like, if you're going to read everything, I can't even write out a plan or write out my passwords because I'm confident that people who don't even care enough to have the conversation will care enough to be nosy enough to go in my diary. They want to read. Back when I used to have actually entertaining company, back when my I don't think any of my children actually ever violated me like that. So anyway, okay, so back on to being socially awkward. That's where I was at, and is that where I was at? It's different when I'm thinking it and when I hear myself say it. Then that's not always when the conversation begins, but that's when the conversation begins for me. It happens in the solitude. So I'm by myself. I always try to, like when I'm being what I needed, my back is against the wall and I'm considering what I'm going to do in a situation. I try to advise myself with the same love that and consideration and respect and genuine concern that I would feel for one of my children, one of my siblings, one of my closest friends, one of my mentors, people that I love and look up to. Like what would a stranger on the street or a younger person? Like, what would I tell them to do? And then I have to have, like, that kills any hypocrite that's hiding in there because I'm not going to tell you to do something that I wouldn't do myself. I'm not going to leave something out that could potentially help you. But if I'm being honest, like, when I say that I am prioritizing and I'm really trying to stay focused, it's like, how can you work so hard and be so diligent and so disciplined and so intentional about what you're doing and the bottom still drop out? How can that happen? And my higher self will chime in and just reground me with, well, why matters, but in some cases it doesn't. What matters is that you consider what you would have taken from any or all of these situations. Did you get what you were supposed to get? Did you give what you were supposed to give? Did you say what you were, told to say, that you had it in your heart to say, or you had it in your heart to do? When someone admitted that they made a mistake, how did you receive them? When you observed someone making a mistake, what did you do? When you saw someone was in need, what did you do? Like, I'm constantly checking myself. Because, man, we let each other down sometimes. And, like, sometimes people that you see that you're very casual with, when you know some of their stories, sometimes they can be your hero, man. And likewise, sometimes we can villainize each other. Unnecessarily, unintentionally. I get how it happens. But I hold myself accountable. Not necessarily because I want the people who would have let me down to be held accountable. Not necessarily that, but I feel like it's hard for me to get mad at people when I know that there's more to the circumstance than meets the eye. I know that there's something else that could have been going on, that more than likely was going on. But that's one of the things that I struggle with, is believing that there are people out here that can genuinely, they thrive on just being naughty. They thrive on being bad. They thrive on giving you a hard time and not getting caught. Weird stuff. Like some of us thrive on being earth angels. Anyway, so back on the subject. And so the other reason why I have a hard time just like kicking it is because, again, I'm focused on picking myself up. And I just feel like I can kick it whenever I have met the next goal. I haven't, like, that's something that's earned. It doesn't mean that I don't deserve it. Okay, I'm in my head right now. I'm just sharing it. I'm in my head right now. I'm in my head about it. Like, I process things. I mean, everyone does. Of course, we all do. I'm on here processing mine with you and letting you see mine as I think it. Because I have these conversations with myself a lot. It's not that I can't talk to my children or like my circle. I have a wonderful support circle between family and the people that I still see. There's a visible, genuine connection and friendship and relationship. People that I don't have to second guess their intentions with me or how they might be receiving me. I don't know what's okay. Which one is heavier? Like not being able to communicate love or not being able to receive love, or are they the same thing? I've talked to the people who don't recognize it because they never really had it. But like for me, in my opinion, it's like, well, that's how you should know exactly what it should look like. Because it's coming from inside of you first. Could you let someone sit with tears in their eyes because they don't understand something and you have the ability to help them and you just don't? It could just be communicating something to them. You know what I mean? Or if you ever felt lonely, if you ever observed someone having a moment where they obviously were feeling lonely, to invite someone to sit with you or to voluntarily go and present to someone, like on a college campus, when people on any campus, school campus, even at work, people feel awkward, not awkward like socially, like this. I'm not talking about myself. Even I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about myself right now. Anyway, so yeah, so once I've met the next goal on my list, then I can celebrate and then I can open the door and I can step out and I can, because for me it feels like I'm slacking off until I've corrected the situation. That's a lot in a very short time. Like it's a lot. And everyone goes through a lot. We're coming through a whole pandemic. You know what I mean? So many aspects of this life are being reformed. Why don't we ever talk about reparations though? I mean, I can find it in some places. Oh, do you guys do Reddit? I love Reddit. Reddit has these fantastic, amazing, stimulating stories that people share that have been vetted and fact checked and researched. And so the validity of these stories are just like, it's real, right? I like. Well, first I used to like just reading Reddit, reading the stories on Reddit. But then when I had a more tedious accounting position and I couldn't just read like I wanted to, but I would let it play in the background, I found them on YouTube. The Reddit, the real stories. When people tell, the glitch in the Matrix stories, oh my God, like those are my thing, okay? The glitch in the Matrix or the true horror stories, animated. Well, first it started off just narrated. And then they messed around and found a bunch of different cartoonists and animators and they put these things on Reddit. Not on Reddit, on YouTube. YouTube is where I found them at. But that's because I was searching for animated, the true narrated, then turned animated stories, horror stories. The staircase in the forest. You should Google that. The phenomenon of finding random staircases. I'm like,
they go up to oblivion, I think.
The Pizza Hut delivery, the McDonald's closers, the people that work in the twilight hours. They're just sharing their stories. No, because I haven't seen any alien abduction stories, but there are alien encounters and close encounters. Anyway, you just have to read it or listen if you want to, or watch. How did I get on this subject?